All right. So this stream, I'm going to show you how to add data from a Webflow form into a multi-reference field inside of a Webflow collection using Zapier. Now, I was thinking about making a short tutorial video on how to do this, but to set this up, it honestly takes more than 5 minutes. It's a very complicated multi-step thing. It's not straightforward, but I want to do this walkthrough in hopes that you'll be able to follow along, and then in a future project you can set it up and then forget about it because everything is automated by Zapier. All right. So let me go to my screen. Let me check the chat room. Did I miss anything? Let's see here. All right. We are good. All right, let's check the chat. We are. Carlos is here. Welcome. All right, let's go. Okay, I have a blank page, but in this Webflow project, I have 3 collections. We have a blog post one, and we have a categories, and then we have tags. We're going to focus in on blog posts and tags. All right. So our blog post, we have a bunch of collection fields, and we have some custom ones for the post body, post summary, etc., etc. We already have a single reference, but we're going to ignore that for now. We're going to make a multi-reference, all right, for the tags. So just to tell you what the difference is between single reference and multi-reference. Single reference is good for things like categories where it's only part of one category, or it's good for authors where this blog post was only written by one author. Multi-reference is good for tags. So if you have like multiple tags for one blog post, then this is what you would do. All right. So I'm going to scroll in, zoom in. There we go. So I'm going to add where are you? There we go. Multi-reference field. Boom. Okay. And the multi-reference field, I'm going to call it tags. Simple. Save field. Oh, darn it. Point at the collection. There we go. Trying to make sure that you all can see it. There we go. So I need to name the multi-reference field tags, and then point that to the tags collection. And now I'm going to click save. And there we go. I'm going to save the collection. And now, if I go into a blog post CMS item, here's my single reference. I can only pick one, so I'm going to click this one. And then for tags, I can choose many, like that. Okay, so that single reference versus multi-reference. But what if I want to do all these things automatically? All right, let me save. So what if I want to create a Webflow form that sends data to this Webflow collection and also adds in the CMS, adds in the multi-reference field data? Right, and that's something that I'm doing already with the Pixel Geek community. So if I show you, let me go here, give you a former reference. So if you ever want to submit content like a tutorial or something, I have a bunch of these tags. And so you can put in the tutorial link, the short description, category is that single reference, and then you have tags. And then for these tags, like say Webflow mod, and also it has to do with layout and responsive design, I'm going to show you how to do exactly this. And then send that to Zapier and then back to Webflow. All right, cool. Let's go. So let's go ahead and make our form. I'm going to drag in a section, then drag in a container. Let's push that container down. And in that container, let's go ahead and put in a form block. All right, so form block. Again, this is an advanced course. So try to keep up. Yeah, that's all I can say. So we'll just have name and we'll delete these two and we'll put in a select field. All right, let's go ahead and name this select field tags and we're going to allow multiple selection. Okay, and with this multiple selection, I'm going to go here to the element settings at the top right, and then right here, I don't need these. I'm going to delete them. Cool. Aw, it's a lonely drop down. Sad face. Okay, or is it disappointed face? Huh. All right. So that's done. Has the ID. This already has the ID of tags. That's good. And that's what we want. All right, let's go ahead and name the form as well. So I'm going to go to the form, and this form name, let's change it to meh form. You can title it whatever you want, but make it something that is easier for you to understand when you're trying to look up the data in Zapier, right? So we have the meh form. Now, how do we dynamically put the tags that are here? How do we put these tags inside of this select field? Because if I preview, there's nothing in here. How do I put stuff in there? This is where I made a video about this, but we're going to do it again. This is where custom code comes in. All right. So let's go ahead and drag in a collection list to this collection field, and we're going to pull from tags, and we're going to leave everything as is. And now for these tags, I need to put two things: the name of it and then the ID number. All right. So let's go ahead and put in a text box into this collection item. Get text from name. And now I need the actual CMS item ID. I don't have that. So I have to go to the collection right here, go to the collection, and click on each collection, and then check it out. The item ID is right here. Now, you might be wondering, how come I can't pull that in since it's just a text string? Why can't I pull that in when I make another text block? So I make another text block, and I want to just pull the CMS ID from here. And the answer is so you have to make a new field inside of Webflow to actually call it out. And so this is what we're going to do. All right. I'm going to go to the collection field, or sorry, the CMS collections, and now I have to actually make it a text block. So I click on this, and add a custom field, call it plain text, and we're going to say item ID. Cool. Now this is the part I'm like, nah, because you have to go to each one, copy, paste. And sometimes copy paste doesn't work. Copy, I'm pressing the buttons and it doesn't work. When that happens, right click, search for it on Google. Of course, Google's going to pull up nothing. I just need the ID and then paste it in there. And do this as many times as you can for each item ID. So as I'm doing this, you might be wondering, Nelson, did you really do this for the Pixel Geek community site? You have a bunch of yes, I did. Man, it took a while, but I did it. No, I don't want to print. No. Cancel. There. Almost done. Almost done. Okay. So now each of them have that item ID, and it's a text string, and now we can start playing around with it. So this is important, okay? Let's close out of the collections manager. And now we can do that thing where we can click on the mini settings and pull text from item ID. All right. So why do we need these two things? It's because we need to add them into the select field. This is going to be the visible label, but the actual value of that selection is going to be this. It's item ID. All right. Let's keep going. Let's name these two. I'm going to name this. Actually, hold on. Pull this in. Okay, yeah. So let's name the text. Call it tag-name. So we gave it a class name of tag-name. And this one right here, we're going to call it tag ID. And lastly, we're going to take this collection item and call it tag-item. Cool. Yeah. So we have the tag-item, and let's go. Hold on. Thinking. Oh, okay. So this is where we need custom code. We need to throw this name into here, and for its value, we need to throw this ID into here as well. Now we're going to get some custom code that I already typed, and I'm just going to copy paste it, but don't worry, I'll give it to you, and I'll explain it. What's this? Oh, that's a different. Okay. All right. So here we go. I'm going to say this is tag item. So remember I named each collection item tag item. Let me show you right there. So I've named each one tag item, and then within there you have the tag name and the tag ID. Now let's go to custom code. Okay, so for each tag item, do something. That's what line 3 says. If you find a tag item, and there's like multiple of them, for each of them, do a thing. Cool. Line 4. Let's call this tag name. All right. So what I'm saying is, okay, inside of, so this, all right, this is referring to this, all right? So this, and find its children elements that have a class name of tag name. If you find something that has a class name of tag name, get the text of it. All right, so that's the tag name that we're getting. That's the text. Now what we're going to do is save that in a temporary browser memory called tag name. Cool. Do the same thing with the child element. If you find a child element with tag ID, get the text and save it as tag ID. Cool. So now that you have those two saved inside of the browser's temporary memory, we need to do something with it. So I'm going to find, oh wait, did I name the select field? Hold on, let me save. What did I name this? Oh, okay, cool. I named it tags up here. Sweet. So that's the ID. Okay, so I need to say in the tags, okay, that's the element that select drop down. In the tags, I want to add some HTML code, and that code is that option value equals tag ID and the tag name. All right, so this is basically writing HTML dynamically. All right, so now if I save, publish, and let's check it out. There we go. Cool. So all my stuff are in there. These are my CMS items. All right, so they're in there, and let's go ahead and view, view source. Source is not good. Let's try inspect, much easier to read. There we go. So awesome. option value is the ID and then the tag name. So that's what that thing did. That simple jQuery script. All right, and you'll be able to copy it after this stream. Yeah. All right, so that's that. But we don't want to see all this stuff, right? Because it's already in here, so we want to hide it. So just hide it. So I'm going to go to collection list wrapper and display none. Now it's gone. Now it looks more cleaner. Awesome. Now let's style this a bit. So let me publish it one more time so you can see what it looks like. And again, if you're using custom code, you won't be able to see it inside of Webflow. You have to publish first and then view the published version so you can actually see it working. All right. So if I want to click on multiple, I have to click on this, and then I have to hold command to choose multiple. Not fun. Not fun. An easier way is to use a jQuery or a JavaScript plugin that makes it more pretty. And so I found one, and again, you can copy it from me. It's totally fine. But I found this package right here, which styles has CSS styles for this drop down, or sorry, this select field. And then let me save it. Let me copy this JavaScript that enables it. Cool. And then lastly, this simple piece of code right here. And all it's saying is for this element called tags, do a thing. Do the thing that's all, do the special thing that is inside of this special JavaScript package. And then also within it, put a placeholder of select tags. So if there's nothing selected, just show select tags. That's it. So if I press publish, refresh, and there we go. Cool. So I can be like, which tags do I want? This one and this one. All right, let's get those two. Let's put in my name, or yeah, let's put in a name. Press submit. Yay! Cool. Yeah. So that's done. Let's refresh, and it's back to this. All right. What's next? Okay, so next I need to take that data and put it into Zapier. So we're done with Webflow. All the Webflow setup is done. Now we need to do Zapier. We are here. Next step. We've submitted data, and it's in our forms. So right here. There we go. So we want to send these two things into the Webflow CMS automatically. How do we do that? All right, so let's get to it. What's next? Right there. Okay, so within Zapier, you'll have to do multiple steps. You can't just do from Webflow to Webflow. There's multiple steps to it. So here we go. Hopefully I can do it. So I'm going to choose Webflow as my app. And then for my choose an event, it's going to be form submission. Continue. And now it's saying, okay, which Webflow account? So I'm going to choose the one I just made called Meh. Continue. Site name is Meh. Form name is Meh form. Continue. Test the trigger. And there we go. So we have the name that we added, and then the 2 tags. All right. So our goal is to get those 2 tags into Webflow. All right. So now that we're done with step 1, what's step 2? And step 2 is you have to first create that that CMS item. So we're going to go into Webflow again, create a live item, continue, and do the same thing. Find meh, continue, choose your site, choose your collection. So we want to put it inside of blog posts. And so now these are all the fields that are inside of that Webflow collection. And so we just need to connect the fields. So we'll just do name for now. So what to put into the name field, we'll just put name, the name that I put in the form. Oops. There we go. Is this archived? No. Meaning, or false. Is this set to draft? No. So it's immediately live. Okay. So now I can go ahead and test and review, or test and continue. Yay, it's done. So that's the first step, okay? Or first 2 steps. Find the form submission and then make it a Webflow item. Now we need to add another step. We need to, hold on. Okay, we need to format. So this is the part. So we need to choose the formatter, and we're going to get the text. Okay, and we're going to press continue, transform, and this is when we need to, hold on. I think I have to go back to my, hold on. Let me go back to my reference. Because there's so many, not so many steps. There's a couple of steps, and I need to make sure that I'm doing this right. So I'm going to go to my Pixel Geek one. Let's see here. Where are you? Content. There we go. So what did I do? Here, I'll show you. So I took the text, customized the text, and oh, okay, that's what I did. Okay, cool. So what I need to do is replace. So I need to replace. And what do I need to replace? Well, from the form submission step, I need to get the tags. Okay. And I need to find any commas. Because in between each tag is a comma. So I need to find the comma. And whenever you see a comma, I need you to also add a double quote on each side of the comma. All right. And then, because what we're doing is creating an array. But there's no way to do that in a straightforward way inside of Webflow. So I'm going to press continue. And let's test and continue. Cool. So it took that comma and added 2 double quotes on either side of it. That's what we want. So next, we need to add another step. We need to add a webhook. See why it's not a 5-minute tutorial video? No. Yeah, so we need to add a webhook. So we're adding a webhook, and we need to do a custom request. Continue. And the method we need to choose is patch. Okay? So patch means to find an existing CMS item, and we need to patch it up, meaning add another thing in it. All right? Here we go. I left some notes for myself. The URL. Okay. All right. Yeah. All right, so for the URL, am I doing this right? Hold on. This is the patch part. No, that's not the patch part. Hold on, let me find it. Yee. Okay, yeah, I was right. Okay, cool. All right, so the URL is, so you're going to talk to the Webflow API and say, hey, Webflow API, I want you to find my collection. And the collection is, well, whatever your collection ID is. How do you find the collection ID? You go into your designer. And go to your blog posts. And then your collection ID is right here. Can I copy that? Please, can I copy that? Can I paste it? Cool, I can paste it. All right, so you would copy your collection. So you're telling Webflow, hey, find this collection. Okay, and then inside of the collection with that ID, I want you to look inside items. And now for these items, I want you to find the item ID. Well, how do you get the item ID? Right here in the second part. And this is why we create a live item first and then patch it up, because we need to find that live item ID, and Webflow creates it automatically. And so there it is, the collection ID. Wait, I mean, sorry, that CID, the regular ID. Wait, 449. Oh, I didn't know that was there. So yeah, you can do this dynamically too. So I can just take this out and put CID. Cool. All right. So we just told Webflow, hey, look up, hey, Webflow API, look up collections with the collection ID of this. And inside of there, look for an item that has an ID of this. All right. Also, make sure that whatever we're doing right now, it's going to be live. So we've added a query string of live equals true. Cool. That's done. Nothing for data pass through, but for the data, now this is where we put JSON stuff. And so I'm just going to copy and paste it. But right here. Let me delete this one. All right. So we're saying, hey, inside of that item, CMS item, look at all the fields. And then we're saying, look for a field that's called tags. That's the multi-reference field that we've created earlier in this stream. Now in this tags, we're going to create an array. How do you make an array? You just use these two square brackets like that. So boom. So we have multiple things we want to put inside of tags. Now I'm going to put double quote, just like that. And then in between here, we're going to add that reformatted text. And there we go. We leave unflattened like that. And hold on, let me check the authorization stuff. Yeah, basic auth. Yeah, okay, cool. And so basic auth, we leave it blank. I went to my preloader. And we're back. Sorry. My bad. So basic auth, we leave it blank, but for headers, we add three things. So the first thing we need to add is accept version. So this is the version of Webflow's API, or yeah, CMS API, which is 1.0.0. Mohammed, you're not late. We just started, as you saw by the intro. All right, now let's add a second thing, and we need to add an authorization. And so this is where we put in like a password type of thing. So bearer space, And now we need to say, hey, we need to get authorization from Webflow to do these things. We don't want the whole public to just go willy-nilly on it, like, like adding stuff without our knowledge. No, we need a key to make this happen. So where do you get your API key? It's in your project settings. And under project settings, you would go to integrations, and at the very bottom, you have generate API token, and this is your secret thing. Yeah, so treat it like a password for your security. We won't show it again. Yeah, but since this is a throwaway website, it's okay for me to show it. But if you have your own website, do not show it to anyone because it is a key. Let me go back to Zapier. And so bearer, space, and then my key. So that's what connects this request to my Webflow project. All right, last thing, we need to tell this step, hey, the type of content is JSON. All right. And again, I'll put in the YouTube description all these things so you can just copy paste it, just like how I'm doing right now. All right. With all that said and done, you cross your fingers and hope you don't get an error. Test and continue. Yes. Turn on Zap. It works. Yeah. There it goes. Let me go to here. And let's go ahead and go to Designer. And let's check. I'm going to go into my collections, blog posts. There's that. And if I go down here, hey, hello tags. Yay tags. All right, go ahead, try it out. Let me throw this on the stream. Hold on. Cool. Yeah, so go ahead, go to that URL and test out the form. Go ahead and put stuff. Let's see here. I'm going to go to my task history. No tasks found. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the page and say Nelson test 2. And I'm going to select the tags. 1, 2, and 3. Submit. Thank you. Your submission has been received. And so that sends a signal over to Zapier. And so let's go ahead and refresh. And there we go. There's my thing. There's my thing. Okay. And with that, when that's done, let's go here. Check out the blog. Oh, okay. Got a couple of people doing it. Thank you. So test, whoever did test, thank you so much. It went through. Whoever did Saturday live stream, thank you so much. It went through. Yeah. So that's how you do it. Complicated? Very. When will Webflow smooth this out? Well, they are working on Logic Flow, so I mean, I would love for this to not have to use Zapier to do this. But we'll see when it happens. I don't know when it's going to come out, but during the Webflow Virtual World Tour, they did say that they're working on it. Someone on the Twitter sphere took some screenshots of it. I think I forgot her name, Jane or something. She's like a security expert or something, and she found stuff that Webflow is working on behind the scenes. But yeah, it'd be nice to not have to do all of that. It took about 35 minutes to explain. but I hope that it can be done in like 5 once Webflow has logic flows. That would be fun.